Want me to clap for you?
No.
I did it anyway.
Perfect.
Your editor will thank me.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Bonjour, ça c'est bon.
Thank you for
Je
this.
suis enchanté.
Very charming. I want to know first, as a director, when you own your own movie thanks to the help of your fan,
Yeah.
it's different. Were you really able to do it without any compromise as you wanted?
I was able to do it without any compromises, yes. The unique situation with me putting in my own money and then my fans backing it by buying anything from t-shirts to the reason I'm here in Paris, an early screening of the film with a Q&A, meet and greets, anything I could think of to offer the fans, and then that money along with my own money creates the film, and it has no corporate involvement at all. There's no bankers, there's no suits, there's nobody saying cut this for whatever reason. So it is a real perfect articulation of what I wanted to say. And I don't think most people, maybe French people know because they're savvy about movies and love movies, but most people in the world don't know how messed with their art is because it's changed because of test audiences and the interests of corporations. And this experiment was, what would it be like if there was no other involvement other than what I intended?
Your movie is about the challenge of moving into the adulthood. I want to know how it was for you in comparison with your hero Aiden, and if you too hesitate about your acting career. There were difficult moments like that?
Oh yeah, well my first audition was when I was 13 years old. I didn't really get a part that was meaningful until I got Scrubs at 26. You know, that's why one of the overlaps from Garden State, both this and Garden State are sort of versions of my life. You know, I wrote this one with my brother, and so it's a combination of my life and his life, but so I just try and write what I know, and I knew that audiences are smart enough, they'll insert their own dream that they're going after. For me, it was going after trying to be an actor, and I had many times of struggling, yeah.
Our readers are 25 years old. Have you some advice for her?
For your readers?
Yeah.
I think when you're young, you can go after your dream without any compromise. I mean, you have to work really hard, and sometimes you have to do a job you don't like to pay for it and to go after it. But I think you only live once, and I don't believe there's an afterlife or there's any that I think this is it. We're animals on this planet. We have a limited time. I've been saying to my friends lately that subtract your age from 90, and that's roughly how many summers you have left. So to seize the day and to go after what it is that you want, because life is so short. I mean, that's what the film is about.
You have a strange power because you literally embody the concept of kindness, which allows you to speak about very serious subjects like religion or death without being boring or pretentious. How do you do?
I think the first thing you do is not to pretend to have any answers, because I don't have any answers, and my brother and I don't have any answers. And I think you can get pretentious if or if you start proselytizing or saying that you have the answers. But as human beings, we're all asking questions about our existence, our faith, our spirituality, love. And my brother and I are just writers asking those same questions. So we ask them and hope that an audience will relate. I mean, that's what worked with Garden State, is that I was just honestly asking the questions that I thought a lot of people my age at the time were asking, without having the audacity to say that I had any answers.
Did you hesitate before to treat this serious subject? Oh, I'm talking about religion, maybe it's difficult.
Well, if I couldn't get this movie made without the Kickstarter backers. So, but once I had their support, the responsibility was to make something that was different, that couldn't get made by a studio. So we talk about faith, spirituality, but in a really funny, irreverent way, and I think the responsibility was on me to follow through and make a movie that truly was something that couldn't get through the system, because I wanted to create something unique for my fans.
It's your second movie in 10 years.
Yeah.
Are you still making some mistake of beginners?
Yeah, I think you always make mistakes. I mean, but that's how you learn. I think every time you make a project, you learn something. I'm sure every time you do an interview, you learn something. Every time you do anything, especially on a large scale, a giant project like making a movie, you learn something. This was particularly unique because I had to make a movie in 26 days and simultaneously take care of 47,000 people and make sure not even one of them across the earth had anything but a wonderful experience. So that was a lot of pressure.
And finally, your movie was quite a low-budget movie for Hollywood in comparison, but you shot in LA with some famous series or movie star.
Yeah.
What did you do to make it?
Asked a lot of favors, and none of the actors take money up front. I mean, they take the lowest salary possible, that the unions will allow. We shoot in 26 days. I only had Mandy Patinkin for 4 days. The little boy stayed at my house. Kate and I shared a trailer. I mean, you do all sorts of things you can to cut costs. It's very, very, very hard. But the biggest one is time, because in filmmaking, time is money, and you really have to. The shorter you can shoot, the quicker you can shoot, the cheaper it'll be.
Of course. The performance of Joy King is amazing.
Yeah, she's a star. You're hearing it here first, Paris. She's a star.
And more generally, all the women's parts in your movie are really modern. How did you find your inspiration? Because it's quite rare in a movie.
Well, I like writing strong women. I really like strong, powerful women and funny women. You know, Natalie's character, in both films, the men are rescued by women. In Garden State, she was funny and silly but smart, and had the sense of humor to sort of snap him out of his depression. And the joie de vivre, if you will. and in this film, Kate is a strong woman holding the family together. The men are running around arguing about who's in charge, when really it's this strong woman who's holding the whole family together. And I like that. I like strong women.
It's disturbing because each time you put your eyes up, I imagine G-Day in his world. Finally, after all these amazing things, are you still an eagle? Like in Scrub? Can you the same eagle?
Can I say eagle?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say eagle, no. But I am as silly as that guy. You know, I think we all have different aspects of our personality, obviously, and JD on Scrubs was the super silly part of myself, and this is the more serious part of myself.
Will you always write movies so personal?
No. It's very hard to put something personal out there because, you know, when people critique it, they're not just critiquing the film, they're critiquing like your whole belief system, your thoughts on love and spirituality and family, and so it's very vulnerable. I certainly won't do it every single time.
What I appreciate the most in your movie is the rhythm of your movie, because it's not like in the most famous movie where you have a start, a problem, the resolution of the problem, and the end. Your rhythm is really, in fact, like in real life.
It's messy.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's another thing I couldn't, you know, someone asked me in the Kickstarter screening with the Q&A, they asked me a question, how come something wasn't resolved? And I said, because in all the movies you see, everything's resolved. I like things messy, like life. So that wasn't resolved because it wouldn't be resolved in real life. And you know, you can have something happen that isn't in the third act, that isn't set up in the first act because of my backers. I mean, in any other movie, everything is just so clean, and the audiences are so conditioned to be like, well, how come that happened when you didn't set it up? And it's like, because that's what life is like. That's the kind of stuff I want to write, and that's the kind of stuff it's very hard to get through the system.
Of course. We have 2 gifts for you.
Oh, merci. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
She's a huge fan.
That's so cool. Is this going to be in the magazine?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And second, I see on Twitter that you're trying to learn French. Maybe you
Oui.
try.
L'addition, s'il vous plaît.
Good. And I have a little help for you. It's from our website. Can you read it and we will work on your accents, French accents.
Okay. J'ai lu Mademoiselle et j'ai pas de culotte.
It means I'll read Madmoizelle and I don't wear any panties.
Why, the women of Mademoiselle don't wear panties?
Yeah, it's our stuff.
Okay. J'ai lu Mademoiselle et j'ai pas de culotte.
Very good accent. Thank you.
Je ne suis pas celle que vous croyez. What's that?
Yeah, I'm not the girl you think I am.
Je ne suis pas celle is girl.
C'est celle que vous croyez.
Je ne suis pas celle que vous y croyez.
Very good.
Mademoiselle.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.